Evening, guys, and welcome to Leverage episode 2 with my man Lewis, and I'm Damien. And tonight we have special guest Valerio, all the way from Melbourne. How are you, Valerio?
Valerio.
Valerio. Come
Can't even get the guest name right. What a start.
Valerio.
Who brought
Sorry.
this guy?
Sorry, I'm nervous, because Joel,
It's
Joel Fernandez is on the call. I'm a bit nervous, I'm like, whoa, I'm not going to behave myself. It's like the school principals in town. Hey,
I'm good. How are you
good,
guys?
mate? Yeah, good.
Very good.
So how you going, Louis?
Yeah, really good, mate.
Good
Having
week?
a good week so far. It's been really good.
Yeah.
How about you, mate? What's been happening?
Yeah, pretty busy. I'm actually moving house at the moment, so we'll see where that ends up. I haven't got a house to move to yet, but I've got everything boxed up, ready to go. So happy days.
Yeah. Misso finally kicked you out, eh?
Yeah, something like that. Wouldn't be the first one.
Can't blame her.
So tonight, guys, we are opening up the floor a little bit more to you guys for sharing. Bitcoin's kind of doesn't know really what it wants to do. There's a couple of shorts, a couple of longs on, so we'll share that a little bit later. But Bitcoin's kind of doing its thing, and if there's anything you want to kind of ask, do so in the chats and let us know, or open up your microphone at any time. If you got some noise in the background, it'd be good to turn that off, just so we can hear each other. So Jamie, if you wouldn't mind, mate, or Louis, can you mute Jamie there for a sec?
I'll just mute people as we go, so don't be too offended.
Yeah, right. So, hey, first of all, can I get anyone that's on this call that hasn't subscribed to our channel? Can we get a little bit of love going on there for our subscription? So I'm just going to share the link now for you. And what I would like you to do is just click on that big fat red button on the first video. Just click on that little link there for me in the chat, and feel free to subscribe and do us all a favor, show us some love so we can start channeling and make millions.
Also, guys, we're running a wealth bootcamp this week as well, if you guys haven't heard about that. So it's completely free. If you guys have anyone at all that's interested in, or if you guys are interested in seeing what's going on in there, get involved. Like, it's a huge opportunity. That's Brody and Joel are running that one. And the amount of value that they're bringing to that one is just absolutely incredible. So if you're not already on board with that, I highly recommend you get on board with that too. So
just throw in the chats, guys, if you're on last night, how you feeling about that boot camp? Pretty awesome, wasn't it? The boys were pumping. Joel and Brody leading the charge. Happy days. Yeah, thanks, Jane. Thanks for the share, Jane. You're my new favorite. Don't tell the others. So, what's his name again? That bloke from Melbourne?
Valerio.
No, just kidding, mate. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Nice, mate. Can you tell us a little bit about your story? How you got into this group, who may have introduced you, things like that. Just let us know a little bit about yourself, mate.
All right. I started my crypto journey last year through COVID. Because people that don't know, I got 3 restaurants, and through COVID, they stopped working. So
Yeah, right.
I stopped making money, basically.
Just drop a little plug. Drop a little plug there, mate. What's your restaurant name?
Las Volta, which means the turning point. Ganzo and Figo, which means cool in Italian.
Yeah, nice. And where are they?
Melbourne.
Yeah, whereabouts?
One is in Hampton, is near Brighton. One in Elwood, the one in Richmond.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
So,
I know about Brighton because of The Block. Is that where The Block was filmed?
Yeah, one of the last. I think
right.
The second last. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It was not far. Wasn't far from my house.
Yeah, right. So what about your trading journey, mate?
So yeah, basically through COVID, as everybody else. So Melbourne has been one of the most locked down city in the world. And so basically I stopped generating money. And
hey, Louis, did you get locked down, mate, in Brisbane?
Yeah, we had some pretty strict lockdowns too for ages, and
What, you couldn't go out between breakfast and lunch, or what?
Pretty much. Couldn't leave the house, mate.
It was like
housebound.
It was like it didn't happen here. It was awesome. Like hear about these poor buggers in Melbourne. It was like Queensland was just like another world. Anyway, mate. Carry
I
on.
think we were the most locked down country in the world, but yeah, bad luck if you're in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Anyway, so mentally, I wasn't good at all because I didn't know what to do. I thought, I had a good income, and all of a sudden I didn't have any more money coming in. So a friend of mine was part of the academy of the old MBA and introduced me to the academy. And I started to do the course, which has been a bit hard because mentally I wasn't good. So my mindset was very bad. So I struggled a little bit. I started, and when I went through the course, I started doing some win, some loss, and then towards the end of the year, that's when they reopened. So we start to be busy, but I didn't have staff. So basically, I started working 14, 15 hours a day, and basically, I was ready to give up the journey on trading. But the only thing that made me stay, it was for the community because they helped me a lot mentally. It changed me a lot. So he gave me hope. He gave me hope. And so I wasn't consistent with my learning and trading until everything else is settled. But the community, with all the messenger chat and group, every day there was something popping up or positive. Was
So
full of positive.
do you feel like the group kind of got you through that COVID lockdown because you kind of had a little bit of hope that financially you'd be okay and you're a little bit motivated to keep going?
100%.
Is that the way you feel
100%.
about it? So not just trading, like in this group, the trading's one side of things, but the community and camaraderie you strongly recommend, and you would say that kind of got you through. Is that what I'm picking up there?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's
right.
my main reason.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then I start to get stuck in the study and trading mindsetting, which has helped me a lot. Even my family, my wife and my kids, they saw a different person because I was coming back home always grumpy and negative. One day my daughter, she looked at me and she said, "Dad, you never smile." And it really killed me. Because I thought, because I was aware that I wasn't going anywhere and be miserable, it wasn't helping me, but I didn't know how to get out of there. So being in the community helped me to develop my skill in trading, even if I'm not the best yet. But helping me a lot of opportunity. Like 2 weeks ago, I bought my first NFT,
which
nice. I'm very happy about it.
So you got a meta bounty huntress, was it?
Yeah, the one with the boobs.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
That's how you distinguish them. Yeah, that's the only difference. Yep.
Louis knows all about them from the hub, but anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But I think you dropped that last week. Yeah, keep going, mate. So how you feeling about that investment, about NFTs?
I feel very good. Very good. I can see a lot of opportunity, like if it goes in the way I've been explaining and I've been following.
Yeah.
So it's gonna generate in the next 3 years, $9,000 American just because I invest in the project.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so those NFTs are projected to go maybe 4x on the investment, which is pretty awesome, which is fantastic. So I think a lot of the people in our group kind of got involved with the Meta Bounty Hunters the first time and Meta Bounty Huntresses this time. So it was a fantastic opportunity that was kind of born from this group, if you like, and a lot of people have jumped on board, which is fantastic. A couple of people in our group are actually creating an income that replaces their work income just from those investments in NFTs. Yeah. What were you going to say, Louis?
Such a unique type of NFT. Like they're really the first ones to do that. That sort of reflection setup where you essentially get paid like the equivalent of like a dividend if you're holding shares. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, really good project.
Yeah, and so what about like the trading side of things? How's your confidence going, and like how's the group helped you with respect to that?
As I said, because there is a lot of psychology, I went through ups and downs, and because I was forcing to succeed because I want to start to generate money very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really work. So when I start to detach myself with the money value, I start to get more deep into the technical analysis and how to understand the market. And of course, jumping on all the Zoom calls from the academy and from all you guys with Joel, Brody, Damien, Louis. They helped me a lot. But I have to be honest, I still go through some ups and downs, even because when I started, I was trading with a different technique. Let's say I was using more the continuation patterns. I was trading with triangles a lot, and I was taking more aggressive entries because it could give me more spice with I could place a smaller stop loss with a bigger reward. But when the market, and there was still it was still a bull run, and even towards the end, it was still working. But then when you turn into the bear market, and the market started to be very volatile, mostly now. So I couldn't use the strategy anymore. So I had to reassess a little bit, and I start to use mostly support and resistance.
It's definitely the perfect time to learn. For those new people that are looking to get in, I realize that some people in this group are actually just brand new this week. So it's a magic time to learn because, that bull run will definitely be a time where money can be made, and you've got to understand how the market works to do that. Can I ask one last question before we move on? What advice would you give for the new people that are only here for a week or two?
Well, first of all, be present to the Zoom call. Be active a lot. So if you have any doubt, don't hold yourself back, because that's when you start learning. Even if you're not confident yet to put in the chat, even contact someone privately, like I did a few times. Because I felt don't feel ashamed or stupid, because I started from zero. Many of you started from zero, so we all got questions to ask. It's a new thing.
And at the end of the day, we're all students. Like wherever we get to, we thirst for more. And it's one of those things that we want to get better. And even our most experienced traders are always getting better. Every day we learn. We can win, but if we don't win, then we learn, and if we win, we learn too. So it's one of those things that's really awesome.
Another thing, if you stick to the trade plan and with the risk reward, so if you don't put in more than 1% of your capital, it's very hard to lose. That's what I noticed.
Right. So if you win 3, you win. Let's just
say it's 3 to 1.
Win 3, you win $9. Lose 7, you lose 7, and you're still up $2. So you only have to win 3 out of 10 to win, don't you? Sticking to that trade plan is really important, guys. And if you haven't got a trade plan yet, feel free to reach out and we can send you one. If not, you can write your own.
And keep adjusting it.
Keep reassessing it. It's something that needs to be a little bit fluid. So by all means, mate. Thank you for your insight. We have to move on, but I appreciate the time that you've taken. Do you have any things you want to share with respect to trading, or do you want to share your screen and throw a trade up? Have you got something there?
I did something on the side that it was only a little bit because we don't have been out all day, but I won't have a look. Can I actually share?
You're right to share. It should be good to check it out, but
so for that, just while Valerio is getting ready, sorry, mate. Just while Valerio is getting ready, I've actually put a feeler out to say, does anyone want to jump on and be our guest? And Valerio was literally like a second behind Branham, who was on our episode 1. So good on you, mate, for putting yourself out there. And I appreciate that it takes a lot of guts to kind of put yourself on the stage, especially straight up in a chat like that. So well done, you. And hats off to you, mate. You're a big part of this team. And look forward to coming down to your restaurants and eating your pizza, drinking your red wine. Happy days. Yeah, I can see. Yep.
Yeah, we got your screen,
Cool.
mate.
What are we looking at there, mate?
So
Help
this
us
one,
out.
Through it.
I was looking Ethereum in a 1 hour time frame. Of course, I started from the daily, and this downtrend is a daily downtrend.
Mhm.
I'll show you.
Oh, that's a big
All
one.
right, which
Yeah,
is
good.
being respected quite well.
Yep. So three touches confirms the trend. Is that right?
Yeah, we
Yep,
start
good.
with 2, and the third they confirm it, and if there is extra one, it makes even stronger.
Beautiful.
So then I put in my daily resistance, and then I went down to the, which is been consolidating on the daily for quite a while, probably from the beginning of September, 19th of September.
Yep.
And then I went down to the 4 hours. Sorry, my computer is a bit slow.
That's all right. It's faster than Adelaide computers. There's no internet down there.
Where
Easier.
so the daily resistance is in this case is the same on the 4 hours with this resistance, and this one is the 4 hour resistance. Is the way I see it.
Yep.
And then I went down because in this market I've been trying to trade mostly on the 1 hour because it's very volatile.
Yep.
So here in the 1 hour, so here what I could see was the price. He hit this resistance multiple times.
Mhm.
In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mhm.
Where finally he broke it, but
Yep.
he went to it the daily resistance, which is at the same time even with the downtrend. And what I was looking today, which I didn't put it yet, is that this uptrend.
Yeah, I found that this afternoon.
So, which is this one is one of the setup that I like to try.
Yep.
Because if here the buyer, they're not pushing them a lot. So there's been a big push from the buyers here, and then a quick recovery from the sellers.
Mhm.
And then the buyer, they didn't come to the party strongly. So in this case, that's where I like to see it, is if the price keep pushing down and breaks the 1 hour support and the uptrend.
Yep.
What I'm looking for, which is one of the last Friday I got it, I'd like to see the price to come down and then retest.
Yep.
And then I look what's the next move, the next candle. Usually I like to see an inverted hammer in this case because I'm going to apply for a short.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not enough. In this case, for me, is enough because there is the break in the uptrend. Then there is a low high. Then it's gonna be a break in support and a retest. So I got it ready for confirmation. So with an inverted hammer, I will feel comfortable to enter the trade.
Yeah, right. So that's a nice interpretation. I found that same uptrend. I didn't go back further and find the downtrend, but that's something to definitely consider. So thanks for sharing that, mate. So that's Ethereum on the 1 hour we're looking at there. So for those of you that need or want to look at what Valerio's done, sorry, I did it again. Valerio.
It's
I know. I it's late. Valerio's done. You can actually double click on a horizontal line. So can you do that for us, mate? Just double click on one of those horizontal lines, and you can actually just double click. Yep. So you can change the template there down the bottom. You can click on template, and you can actually do a save as. And he's set up some templates there that will allow him to choose which one he wants and to match what he's looking at. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, reach out to Lewis or myself, and we're more than happy to show you through that with some screenshots if you can't pick it up here. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you jumping on, my friend, and look forward to coming to Melbourne, drinking red wine, eating pizza.
Perfect.
Getting to know you, pal. Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Valerio.
Thank you, guys.
What do you reckon, Louis? Is he onto something?
I think he's onto something, mate. I I had a very similar analysis done up on Ethereum myself, actually. So yeah, and I had the fibs drawn in there too, and it's sort of that support level's right on that 50 fibs too. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
strong level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely
yeah.
something to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like ETH going up because
Me
the
too.
investments in the NFTs are better when ETH goes up. But I guess it depends on what NFT you've got. All right, let's.
When they go down, you get more reflections though.
Oh well, it depends on what NFT you got, mate. That's it.
True.
Meta Bounty Hunters, happy days. But the ones I'm in, I'm keen for it to grow. But yeah, I guess it depends on what side of the fence you sit on. But
Yeah, Jack raises a good point there. Yeah, you do get more ETH when ETH's price is lower. So I mean, in the long term, that's probably a better result because as ETH's price appreciates, you double dipping. Like it's
yeah.
But yeah,
And Jack would know he's got his life savings in there, and he's developing his life savings every bloody week. The way he's going, doesn't he own like 80% share of Meta Bounty Hunters? Doesn't he?
He actually owns the company.
I think he might have a pillow or a bedspread or something that's actually Meta Bounty Hunter on it. You know, back when you were kids, and he's probably got his you know, when you're a kid, you wear the He-Man undies or whatever. Happy days, Meta Bounty Hunter undies. Let's bring them out.
I'll get you some of them, Jack. You're a shareholder in the company.
Just make sure they're Y fronts.
You're on the board of directors for Meta Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, it said shareholder.
Am I still sharing?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
We're just going to throw it open. Does anyone else out there want to share a chart or ask a question? I'm just going to check the chat here. Hang on. There's a question here. There's a bit of grazia going on. So there's a question here from iPhone 3, which I think might be Joe.
Sorry?
Just stop your share if you want. If you want to get it down, bro.
Yeah. Perfect.
So there's a question there from Joe, being green in the space. So he's only just started a couple of days ago. Welcome, Joe. Do you look at getting comfortable with simple spot trades before looking at the more complex shorts and the like? I guess it depends on what you're seeing at the moment. There seems to be just shorts on everywhere, but it's one of those things that I guess if you see an opportunity, then, you know, Louis, you want to explain that short that you kind of explained today, or Joel had a good explanation about a Tesla. Do you remember what he said?
Oh, he said something about buying a Tesla and crashing it because he can't drive. I don't remember.
Yeah, no.
No, well, look, at the end of the day, technical analysis is technical analysis. So whether you're analyzing a spot chart or a futures chart, the analysis is going to be the same. The only difference is on the spot chart, you don't like on a spot trade, you don't really have the option to short. So,
and there's also that psychology when you're new, you probably don't want to do any leverage trading either. So I guess what you're looking for is to simplify your trading plan when you first start and perhaps look for longs. But in this market, they're not necessarily, overly prominent. They kind of come and go pretty quickly. So yeah, Joe, I'll touch base with you about that one, mate, and I'll help you out through that process. So it's one of those things that kind of comes down to personal preference, but I'll touch base with you after this chat, and we'll have a chat about it. Yeah, so, John,
I'd recommend just trading, doing your futures trade, but exactly as Damo said, you don't have to use leverage.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do small futures trades and that. It just gives you the opportunity to learn shorting and longing at the same time.
Yeah, definitely a skill you want to develop. So John's keen to share a chart. Jump on, mate.
I'll just mix chuck the chart up first. So I'll share that one quickly first, and then John, you can jump on and we'll give you the screen for a sec. So I'll bring this one up quickly. So this is a chart that Mix shared. So what have we got? Bitcoin on the 15-minute. So it's been in. So from what I'll do a bit of analysis on his behalf if I can. Hopefully I don't ruin it for him. But we see a bit of a squeeze here.
15 minutes.
Market structure drawn in here. So we've had this uptrend, this green line at the bottom. this downtrend line at the top, and that forms that triangle pattern that we can see. So what Mick's looking for here is the breakout of this triangle. So he's got the long and the short tool drawn in there. So he hasn't picked a bias. He's waiting for the charts to tell him which direction it's going to break, and then he's got his trade setups either way. So, but yeah, definitely looks like it's squeezing. We've got a bit of a squeeze going on there on the 15-minute on Bitcoin. So.
Yeah, I actually see that same squeeze on Bitcoin. It's one of those things that's kind of really coming to the point. I kind of have it on a bit of a larger perspective than that. Mick's looking at a 15-minute scalp there, but if you actually wind back the clock quite a way, there's actually quite a decent like a pennant forming there. It actually, the bottom of it traces right back to around mid-September. So it's one of those things that trend line on the bottom's been continuous for some time. I'll just quickly share my screen so I can so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see there the trend line starts down here and it goes all the way through. So this is the one from the 10th of November when the legends were born. That's one of those things that keeps going right down. But this one here and then this one here from around the 7th of October are forming that triangle, which is similar to what Mick's doing there. I've actually got it as well. And Brody's just put in the chat that it could actually go further down. So it's one of those ones to definitely chart up properly Bitcoin at the moment. You just don't want to just jump into a trade unless you're checking with Bitcoin at any time. And you really want to make sure. I actually can't. I've lost the screen to stop sharing. So if someone wants to, John, if you want to overshare me, mate, that'd be good because it's disappeared.
Well, John, you're unmuted. Should check your screen up when you're ready, and give us a rundown of what you're looking at.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, mate.
Yep. But yeah, as Mick said in the comments as well, he's waiting for that retracement before the entry, and that's the safer entry because if you're setting that new market structure in either direction, it applies in the long or the short position. If you're setting that new market structure, it gives you an extra layer of confirmation on which direction the market's going. So, all right, fire away, John.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so picked this one up about a quarter of an hour before we started here, and this trend line here stuck out with me. This is with Casper, by the way, and it's on the hourly. The only thing,
nice little squeeze going on there, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, nice little ascending triangle. We've got these highs here. The only thing that worries me is when you look left, there's nothing higher than this.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything does come of it, whether it will just be a little peak above this resistance line here, or whether it will do something else entirely different. But we're welcoming your comments, really.
Yeah, so you've got it projected to long. So you think it may squeeze up and push out. What's your reasoning behind that?
I think we've got the bullish trend here generally coming up there. So this is trend ascending triangle is a sign of a bullish trend. So that's my main reasoning there. And we've got the ascending trend here as well. So it's just a worry that there's nothing else further left, really.
Yeah,
I'd be more confident if there was more structure further left.
Yeah,
apart from this one here.
Yeah, sorry, you go, Louis.
If you change your chart to the 4-hour, John.
Yeah.
And just zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just zoom out a bit further so you can see that previous structure, the previous push down.
Yeah, you got some here, I guess.
So what I sort of see, I zoom out even further than that, compress it down a little bit. So just zoom your scale on the side there. So
Yeah.
so that's a good view there. So
Yeah.
what I sort of see is like this this level through here is like the EQE sort of level. So that's the level of that I'll be looking at, because you
Okay.
know, we've had that strong support there. We've had that strong support. We've rejected off that level once already. So that's
Do you
sort of
think
what I'm looking at.
that's valid, being so, from a time point of view, being so far, a few months back? Or, I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
100%.
Okay.
If you look at where Bitcoin's fallen to,
Yeah.
you could wind all the way back several years and see that it's respecting a trend that was formed a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything left is definitely worth considering. Yep.
Okay.
Like Brody
Cool.
just said, like Brody's just thrown up in the chat, go back as far as possible. If there's one indication that it could turn around anywhere, it's definitely worth consideration.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're always looking left. And like Lewis has just picked up there, if you see something on the 1 hour,
I didn't zoom out.
Yeah. But if you see something on the 1 hour and you want it confirmed, zoom out to the larger time frames and see if you can't see something else, because you really just want to make sure that that's going to kick on a little bit for you before you start to throw money up. But mate, that's a really nice chart. Joel asked how long you've been around for in this group. So can you answer that for us?
Yeah, I'm in my 5th week at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
5th week, happy days.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's really good that you've got the confidence to jump on here and share charts. Like that's a testament to you, because that's the best way you're going to learn and the best way you're going to grow. Like not many people, like some people take months and months to build up that confidence. So that's a testament to you, mate. Well done.
yeah.
Cheers.
Someone else out there want to throw something up?
And I'm not trying to shut you down or anything. Just if you guys want to share stuff, like we don't want to shut you down. We just want to give you like our analysis. Like for me and my trading style, that if I was looking for a long on that trade that you were just looking at there, like there's no denying, like it's a strong level through there, and it's formed a strong uptrend. But for me, and it's retraced to a fibs level 618, not the strongest retracement for a continuation, but there's no denying that there's definitely like a nice uptrend forming there. But for me, the safer trade would be clearance of that level. So if I was looking for a long position on that, I'd sort of expect a squeeze, that break, retest, and I'd be getting off an entry there if I was looking at that longer term sort of trade. So
yeah, it's definitely one to watch though. That we're not saying that trade is not valid. That's a long left to right there. So it's stuck in that channel for a long time. It's finally decided to move. So it's something that you've just got to watch what it does off that resistance line. If it kicks through, it could be game on. If it doesn't, then maybe just hold off for a little bit and see what it does. But you definitely want to set an alert. If you're on TradingView and you're using a basic program, then I think you can only set one alert. Someone might know in the chat. But if you get the Pro, which is around $15 US a month, you can set up to 20, I believe. So it may be worth something to consider once you start making some money, or if you can afford it. It's definitely worth just upgrading to that one tier higher so that you can set more alerts, and that way you don't have to ruin your life by sitting on the charts all day long. You can actually go and live your life, and then you'll just get an email or a text to your phone, and that way you're able to execute. So thanks, John. Good on you, mate.
No worries.
That's why Damo has the free version, because he doesn't have a life, so he doesn't need
right.
alerts, so.
That's right. I don't have a life because I'm carrying you on my shoulders. That's why. So LTC, Louis, you want to throw LTC up? Or Branham, you want to throw LTC up yourself? You're there, mate. You were our host in episode 1. You got the confidence. Get in there.
Yeah, mate.
No, I still haven't figured out how I can share my screen through my iPad. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's the only thing right now. But it would still be the LTC every 1 hour.
I can do it if you want. I've actually charted that up before, I think. Just give us a sec. I'll do it, Louis.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, I'm on it. Let me just find it all the way down in the L section. Okay, here we go.
I think I can see what you're looking at already, even just from this 4-hour chart.
I can see, because on the 1 hour, she kind of formed a little bit of a flag. and then I would be looking for a potential short once it can clear that flag entirely around, I don't know, like $52.20 roughly, or 52.35. And then I would enter in there and then try to short it down all the way to $50.77. And then the stop loss would be at the top wick on that flag, which just so happens to line up with the 800 EMA, which would be around $53.05.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Did you get all that, Damo?
Oh, I can't understand that accent, mate. So, no, just kidding. Yeah, just cut out there. So you've got you've got the flag.
So my entry for the flag, let's see, where do I have it lined up at? Okay, so my entry for the flag would be if we could clear right around like $52.31,
Which should be
take
around
profit.
which should be around here. So I'll just bring that down just so you can kind of see the visual on that. Gee, my computer's lagging. $52.31. So that's about where you want it to be. Yep.
Yeah, that's where I would look to enter. My take profit would be at $50.83,
which is about,
and then my stop loss would be at 50. My bad. I don't know if I said anything wrong. $50.83 for the take profit, and stop loss would be $53.10, which is slightly above the 800 EMA, at least for me.
Yep, right. So that's what Branham's saying there would be about his. Gee, my computer's slow.
Like right around there, yeah.
Yep. So that gives you a 1.6. So it's a bit risky for beginners.
Well, pull down. Well, let's see. Is that where I have my stop loss at? No, pull down the take profit to. Is it at 50? $50.80.
$50.40.
Right around there.
Like around here where I got it.
Yeah. Well, bring it up about 40 more cents, then it would be right there.
Yeah. So if you're coming up there, you kind of, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad trade, but for beginners, it's a risky one because of the risk reward ratio. Are you looking to do that kind of as a scalp or long term or what?
It would start off as I would look to scalp it, maybe to get it roughly, try to like get like 30-40% out of it at first, but then I would try to stay in it if Bitcoin just shows signs of it just continuously breaking down.
Yeah. So it's definitely a shorting opportunity there if it can break this. Yeah, definitely. But it's just a matter of sticking to your trade plan, guys. So if you see that and go, oh, yeah, that looks good. He's cleared the wick here, which is a smart move. So this wick here, he's actually got the stop loss a little bit higher. But this take profit probably could be a little bit more generous, but he's been a bit conservative there, probably taking into account these ones here. But it's something that at 1.84, I wouldn't recommend taking unless you kind of know what you're doing. But you know, it's definitely one that you can add to your list and watch. So we'll go from there. Thanks, man. Is there something else you've got?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really looked much yet. I just got up like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's like what time there? 6:30 in the morning in South Carolina or something.
It's 7:10 here now.
Yeah, right. Louis, you wanna chart up Matic and AVAX for Tarina?
Sure thing, mate. Let's do it.
Sure thing, mate. Tarina, you feel free to unmute, my friend, and tell us what we're looking at. This is a part of you jumping on there and telling us and being kind of more involved in the trading side of things online. So that'd be great.
Tarina had a question as well, which I saw she put up in the chats earlier, which I'll answer now while I'm going.
Yep.
So her question was, why do people use limit entries as opposed to market entries, and why do people use market stops as opposed to limit stops? So say we're looking at a position, a short, we'll say we're looking at a long, and we've got something charted up like this. So, prices come up, whatever. had this retest, say this is like a, a support resistance level or whatever, something like that. And this is our trade. Say we're doing like a horseshoe or something, or so hypothetically, we'll say it's a 2 to 1. And we're looking for like a horseshoe sort of move like that. So if I use a limit entry on this trade at that entry point, I need price to hit that exact entry point for my trade to execute. Even if it misses by, bloody like that much, that's not going to trigger. So a limit order is that exact price. It will only execute from orders for that exact price. If I used a market entry to get into this trade, and it started moving up rapidly, potentially it could fill my order here. Somewhere between here and here, because if there was volatility at that entry point, and I had a market order in there to fill my order, it'll take orders from around where your trigger price is in the books. Even if it's not exactly at your triggered price, it'll be around your trigger price. So that could mean that my order's filled there, and that could potentially mean that my risk to reward for that trade is now a 1.3 as opposed to a 2. Like that tiny little fluctuation in price, that rapid volatility in price can change my risk to reward drastically. And maybe your trade plan says you only trade at a 2 to 1 risk reward. All of a sudden you're not adhering to your trade plan just because of the order type that you've used. Because that's how market orders will work. They'll just fill your order based on orders in the books around where your trigger price is. So if you're after like certain risk to rewards, and you want to get in at specific prices, that's why you'd use limit orders for entries. If you're not too fast, if you had a bit more room in that trade, say it was like a big move and you had like a 6 to 1 risk reward, you got a market order on that and it picked up a little bit higher, it's ruining your risk to reward a little bit, but you're still well within the bounds of your trade plan. So if you're really, really tight with your stop losses and you take profits, it's a really like tight entry, you probably want to use a limit order, because a market order can change your risk to reward. When it comes to stop losses, so if sorry, I should mention that as well before I get into stop losses. If price touches your limit order, and then if you had a rapid move up all of a sudden, it might not necessarily fill your entire order either. It might only partially fill your order because of how rapidly price has moved off that level. So all of a sudden, like that was going to be $100 trade. It only partially filled your order, and now you're only stuck with $20 in this trade. Because that's all the order books. That's all that the exchange could fill from where your limit order was set. So that's another sort of downside with limit orders as well. Like with volatile price action, they might not necessarily fill. So when it comes to stop losses, this is where I'm of the opinion that a market stop is the only way to do it, especially in crypto. Because if I go to enter this trade and price goes down, it's not going favorably. We have like a little bit of this, and then it goes down and hits our stop loss. So if I have a market stop here, at this trigger price, if this price like rapidly went down like this, really, really volatile move down, and I have a market price in there, it might not fill my order at exactly where my stop loss is set. It might end up sort of filling it down here, but at least I'm out of that trade. Because if you get it further continuation down and that price, kept doing this and this and this and this, and you had a limit stop in there where your order wasn't filled, you're stuck in a losing trade unless you're actively monitoring that position and have seen that your order hasn't filled. You're stuck in that trade. You're stuck in that position. So a market stop, I would always recommend, because if you get a really volatile drop in the market, and I mean we know the volatility in crypto, it's just off the charts. It's risky business. If you're using a limit stop, it's all good if price is moving slowly, like it'll chances are it'll execute at your limit price. If price is moving really slowly, if you're in a consolidation period, whatever, if it's a really high volume coin or something like that, you might get away with it. But I mean, it's not worth the risk as far as I'm concerned. So market stops, you might not get out at exactly where your stop loss is set, but at least it'll be in close proximity.
Yeah, and the fees, people are scared of the fees, like on a market structure call, like entry and exit. But the market structure, the market entries and exits, the fees are relatively minimal when you charge first starting out, like $100 account or whatever. It's not really worth worrying about. So to try and just make sure that you do get your risk reward accurately, you're probably better off just starting and finishing with the market. People say that you start with a market and with a limit, or start with a limit and with the market, but that's kind of when you're looking at like bigger trades with bigger fees and bigger profits. So it's something that you may want to consider. But that's gold, Lewis, what you've just written there, said there, and I can't wait to watch that back on our YouTube. That's awesome.
One other thing I'll add as well is like limit orders for entries can be good if you can't actively monitor for an entry position. Like if you're looking at a bigger swing trade and you're very, very confident. Like I don't really trade like this, but if you're very, very confident you have this break and this retest on the daily and you're looking at this take profit up here, and you're certain that price is going to continue because it's been uptrending for ages off this level, you can set a limit order at that level. Last time you viewed the chart, price was up here, still coming back for the retracement. You can set a limit order at that level. So if it hits that level and continues up while you're asleep, it'll get you into that trade without you having to actively monitor it. But obviously the downside to that is if price reached that level and then broke down, it gets you in that trade and you're in a losing position. So some people will use limit orders like that if they don't want to have to sit there and actively sort of monitor, but it's really risky. But yeah, just something to consider when it comes to market stops. Like I'll always use a market stop. I've never not used a market stop just because of the volatility in crypto. It's not worth getting stuck in a position. Not fun. So I got distracted. So what were the two things I was going to chart for you, Tarina? Matic and AVAX. Let's have a look, see, eh? Matic. Broke above. What we got here, eh? You've had a lot of support through this level. Recent structure. Resistance up here on the daily.
Lewis, do you just want me to share my screen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Yes, we do. Tarina, well done.
Okay.
Look at you
Fire
go.
away.
Amber, you've got Dot there on the list. More than welcome to jump on yours. Chriso, MKR. I've got an MKR set up too, mate. So I wouldn't mind seeing yours if you don't mind, Chriso. So we'll throw you up there in a sec.
So I charted this afternoon and then saw this triangle. But it's stuck on, no, it's not stuck, but it's at that resistance over here.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for it to retest and see if it will either go up and break that resistance or wait to see if it's gonna squeeze right through. Yeah, I don't know how long I wait for, but yeah.
Can I just
I'm
get
just
you to
starting at the moment.
Can I get you to zoom out and show us that top trend line? Because it doesn't seem to be touching anything. Just keep going all the way, just so we can make sure that's in the right spot.
Yep.
So just shrink it down a little bit so we can get a bit of better perspective. So that
I'm just working off that mouse pad. My mouse
yeah,
isn't
that's cool.
working.
That's cool. That's cool.
You could just go on like a higher time frame.
Yeah,
and it'll show more of it.
Yeah, squeeze down your numbers too, and that way we can see a bit more. So yeah, just squeeze that to the middle. Yeah, that way we're able to see a bit more.
Sorry guys, it's really
That's okay. Yeah, I'm just concerned
Bit
that
by bit.
I'm just concerned that trend line is kind of misplaced there at the top. What do
Which
you
one?
reckon?
The
What do you
top
reckon?
one.
The top one, yeah, it just kind of doesn't seem to be touching 3 times anything.
No, the bottom one has though.
The bottom one's cool, but the top one, I just kind of feel like that might just be slightly drawn wrong.
Okay.
But there's definitely a bit of a squeeze going on there. What do you reckon, Louis? Back me.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, no, yeah. We go slowly.
I don't know,
So
on the daily time frame, just from what I see there, it sort of just looks like a big bull flag to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You've had the push up, it's had the pull back. I'll be checking what the fibs are, low to high. Like on the daily, that could be like a big macro sort of bull flag.
Yeah, I kind of see the trend more where you've drawn it there. It's a 3-touch trend there. So the trend, I think your trend line's a little bit too long. And if you bring the trend line down to where that flag begins, then you probably get a better perspective as to what it's doing.
Do you mean this one down? I mean,
Yeah,
not that one.
Lewis is just
Oh,
going to draw
okay,
over
yeah.
the top. So that
Oh,
one
yeah.
there, there's also one on the top as well.
You sort of have, I don't know, there's sort of like a trend through there, which you've had a bump and run off here, where you've had the break retest. It's a bit of like a
I don't know if I
pennant.
delete that. Would that work better?
No, because still only I'd even
yeah,
go
lower.
further down. Yeah, lower. Just
Like to
leave
the next
leave the end there on the right end, but the left end. I
That's
think
the
you need to
one.
bring, I think you need to bring that down to the left. Well, that'll do. That's kind of about where it sits anyway. But you could extend that one back through that wick a bit further back at the just before August begins there, and you can see there that it's kind of testing that top end of that trend. So yeah, I'd probably wait for that to pop beyond 90.32, sorry, 0.9032 before you entered that. Wait for it to kind of pop out of the resistance line that you've drawn.
Yeah.
And see what it does from there. Maybe break and retest, and yeah, but I personally wouldn't be entering that just yet. You kind of want it to come up probably 91, 92 cents. Can you just move your mouse up slightly so we can see? Kind of draw a line kind of around 91 cents and see what that looks like if that catches the top left of that trend line. So keep going a little bit higher, Yeah, keep going that left of that top trend line. Yeah, about there. I think it's probably where you want to.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's probably where you probably want to move that resistance line to. Yeah, I think maybe even down just a little bit. I think that's probably a bit more of a target that you might want to try and clear before you kind of enter it, because it might just sit up out of that trend line and then pop back down again. So definitely one to watch.
So then this top trend line though, would that be non-existent then?
I'd probably just
because
leave it
we're
there
waiting
and see
for
if
it to
comes.
break resistance up here.
Yeah, sometimes a trend line can be broken and come back and test it, so it's one of those things that I'd just watch. I wouldn't enter it yet, but you can definitely monitor it over the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's an interesting one to me. Like, I don't know, this would be my level for a long break of that level there. That's me personally.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to copy, like, you don't have to trade how I trade. And as this, like, I sort of see it as like a pennant. Like, I see like the pattern here where we've had this pennant sort of shape and we've broken out of that pennant. That's how I sort of look at that setup. So
yeah.
The issue with it, if it breaks through your red resistance line, you've got that zone there where that's wicked up a couple of times where Lewis's blue line was drawn.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a danger zone. So what happens is people enter past the resistance line, and then they'll go slightly into the green, 2 or 3%, well, or less, and then go, oh yeah, we're on, and then suddenly it'll turn around because it actually will reject off that line there, where it's rejected pretty severely back where Lewis's blue line on the left begins. So you just want to be careful with that one. It's just one, like I said, one to watch. But once I like to start like doing a TA and then come back and revisit it, even if I don't take it, just to see if in fact it did what I expected it to do, and then clear it when you rechart it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for
And then I
yeah.
just had one more because
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
this call was happening.
No, you're right.
A lot
And then
of
we
the
got,
alts are, a lot of the alts are setting some bullish market structure recently. Hey, like
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
everything's gone sideways for a little bit. Now a lot of these alts are going bullish, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still really hesitant. To be like,
Gabe, hey, boys,
Hello?
I hope you don't mind me butting in.
get amongst
Can I
it.
butt in? Is that all right? Can I say something?
No.
All
No,
right.
of course you can.
All right, Karina, let's go. Let me show you. Something that really helped me was the way I used to see this was it's all probabilities, right? So I think you had a pennant, but then you also had resistance above here,
Yeah.
right? So it's all about probabilities. So say, you know, obviously when we're trading pennants, when there's a breakout, people tend to look for entries on the retest of the trend or on the initial breakout. But then you run the chance of hitting that next resistance and then everything comes down. Right. So I like what Lewis said, that the way I trade is the way Lewis trades and I trade is you know, wait for all these rejection areas to clear before opening the next trade. Right. But I like the way you did your chart. It made complete sense. But you know, because I'm a conservative trader, I like to wait for those levels to clear before I enter any trades. But yeah, it's just probabilities, right? You know, obviously if you enter a trade below resistance, there's that higher probabilities that it'll reject, and then you'll go back to where you started or get stopped out.
Can I just butt in as well? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Why not? The more the merrier.
I'm joking. I'm only joking.
Yeah. No, that's good advice, Joel. And
I
that's the
agree.
thing. You wanted to clear anything, and you basically it's just another confirmation, and you just want to make sure that you're ready to enter without any hesitation, really, because you've confirmed it, and that's exactly what Joel's kind of saying there. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Joel. Love your wisdom, mate.
So obviously I'm still not great at doing the flags and the pennants and stuff like that, but I can see them. I just don't know how to trade with them, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to, so when I do see them, I look at them as if they were trend lines or whatever and wait for the break or the retest and go from there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Was that wrong?
No, that's break and retest is always like if you're waiting for the retest, that's always a safer entry, because if you get indication that it's going to continue in your desired direction off the retest, then that's the safer entry. So there's nothing ever wrong with waiting for the retest, the break and retest like that. So
yeah. So I charted this one, but this was on the hourly. It's now on the 4 hourly. It was sitting on the 50 trend line, like back here, where this big green candle is. When we're on the fibs, this is just a question, it wasn't anything, but when it's on the fibs, do we wait for it to be retested again off this, or wait till it drops to the 6180 for it to ride up?
well, it depends. Like your key fibs levels, like your 38.2, your 50, and your 618. So it could test on either one of them. Whichever one it tests on sort of just determines how strong the push off is going to be. So you come up, you retest off the 38, probability is you're going to have a stronger push off. You come up and the retest happens off the 50, you're going to have a strong push off, but might not necessarily be as strong as the 38.2. And then like your 618 is like your horseshoe setups and that. So if it comes back and tests the 618, then you'd probably be looking at a take profit at like that previous level, because it's not going to have this, it's not going to have a probability says it's not going to have as strong a push off as if it was off one of these more shallow fibs levels.
Yeah, and you got a nice couple of touches to the left there too. So it's going to take some momentum to push through that resistance.
Yeah.
So you sort of look for which fibs level as well is lining up best with previous structure. So if you look at this chart, like you've had a bit of a sort of support zone through here where price has found support multiple times. So what level lines up best with that? It's probably your 618. So probability says if price is going to find support for a continuation, it's likely going to be at that 618 level because it's already found support at that level. What 1, 2, 3, 4 times in recent structure.
Yeah. Good advice, Louis. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
It's all right.
Amber and Chriso, you got a couple of things there you want to share?
Thanks, Wico.
Anyone's in?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy to share.
Good on you,
Just
Chriso. Nice, mate.
criticize me as much as you can.
Nah, that's what we're here for, mate. I love a
Get
man
in
with
here,
hair.
mate.
Love a man with hair.
Does he have hair?
Yeah, he does.
I'm sitting there going, "Oh no, I've got to run."
I thought that he actually had a hat from birth.
You're getting me and Bretto mixed up here.
No, Bretto's got no hair anymore. I see his
wrong one.
This guy in the community, man.
Bretto's profile photo is like a mop, and then his reality photo is like a pool cue ball. I love it.
Can you see my screen there?
I can say that about him because I'm one of the same. They say
right.
people with beautiful heads don't have hair. Is that right?
Nah, mate. No one's ever said that. You're the first person. You're the first person to ever say that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, so just looking at MKR here, and pretty much, you know, 'cause it's been a long downtrend, so you know, it's a time for the buyers to come back in and push the market back up. In that case,
hang on, mate. Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, I can't. All right, carry on.
User
there you go.
error.
Yep, user error. Abort. Is it a tilt? Old school tilt. Right, mate. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, so if price keeps pushing down, just going, you know, if this is where support is, just break through that level and break and retest, and to, you know, for prices to keep pushing back down, and because it looks like there needs to be a bit of recovery coming in sometime soon, might be the time to break out of that downtrend and retest and push back up. Ideally enter around here, otherwise wait for it to push right back up and enter once it's busted through resistance.
Yeah, I agree, mate. If you draw another trend line there, it's actually a nice channel. If you draw another trend line, kind of create a channel or a flag through there, all the way from the top where you've drawn your trend line, and draw another trend line kind of parallel to it underneath the wicks or the, you know, the candles. Yeah, you can actually see it. That's a nice little channel. Just make it straight parallel. If you just kind of swing it around a bit. Yeah, you can actually see that it's actually not a bad little channel. I actually charted this up earlier, but then at the bottom there where it's hit support, it's actually stopped kind of dropping and started to think about moving sideways. So that one that caught my attention as well. So I've actually charted the exact same thing. And I've got the two projections there. If it breaks the support, potentially it could drop to the next level. And yeah, if that turns around, that could just recover all of that. You just don't know because there's not a lot to the left of that. If you kind of look left a little bit further,
yeah, there's a few wild wicks over here.
There's a few wild wicks, but I reckon that it could potentially come right back up to around 1060 or somewhere around there. Just looking on yours, yeah, somewhere around there. I reckon it could bounce up that high. So it's one of those ones that's definitely on my must-watch list. MKR.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, mate. But when you're seeing those trends, make sure you're always seeing if in fact it can create that channel, and that'll give you a bit of a perspective of where it may go up and down.
Yeah, still got room to drop a bit more down.
Well, it could, but it could also turn around. So because it's kind of starting to go sideways, it's definitely caught my attention.
I'd definitely be watching for the. Like I'll be waiting for the break on that one, because we look at like purely market structure. You're setting this market structure on the way down, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We've set an equal low. So we want that breakout, and we want that higher high, and then you want that retest.
Yeah. So move your entry point a bit higher past that. I don't know what, it's a bit hard on your screen, around 950, something around there. Yeah, around 950 should be kind of about the main. It's a bit hard to see on my screen, but yeah, what do you reckon, Louis, about there?
No, absolutely not.
Otherwise, I'd just usually wait on a trade like this because I'm not overly sure. Just wait for it to fully break out of if it, was consolidating for a bit, just to wait for it to break out above resistance and then go.
Yeah, well, it's got potential to go. So yeah, it's definitely one to watch, though, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like you sort of got that EQ level sort of through there. So I mean, yeah, potentially you could catch a small trade up to resistance there. That's where probability says it could reject from. But I mean, once again, like the safer trade would be set a bit of new market structure, get a nice new trend going, break out, and you get your entry here off this level. Have your new trend formed and everything. That'd be your safer entry from that point, because that's more of a much more significant level with the structure that you've set through, like this point here. So.
Yep.
But in saying that, like it could still be a good short-term trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just keep my eye on it. But no, thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I like that one. Louis, Ember shared. I haven't opened it up yet. Oh, it's gone. In the chat, Amber shared one. That looks like it is Dot.
Yep, I'll bring it up. Let's have a look. What have we got? Dot, yeah, Dot USDT 4 hour. Cool. I might just chart this quickly as we go, so I can do a live analysis, because I can't annotate on the pictures. That's the only problem. Can't draw all over them like I'm a child with crayons. So yeah, obviously we got the support level through there. Where'd the picture go?
Hey, just a shout out to Chris. So I know you. I know it takes a lot for you to do that, mate. So well done for sharing that trade. That's good.
Cheers. Yeah, my palms are sweaty. I'm gonna go wipe them off.
We're breaking barriers tonight. Good work, bro.
Yeah, that's good. This is the whole purpose of this call, for you guys to jump on, share these charts, have a look at what we're looking at, and you see things from a different perspective. Even Lewis and I are saying different things, so it's really good to do it and jump on and share. And Tarina too, like that took a lot of guts from her. So hopefully each week we get a couple more people just firing up their chats and jumping in. Yeah.
I think it's really important to say as well that like there's no right or wrong with technical analysis. It's about perception. Like what I see compared to what Damo sees, obviously like Damo's wrong and I'm right, but they're two different things.
Yeah.
So no, but I mean it's about perception. It's like different people see different things, and there's no right and wrong. It's about about what you see and what your analysis says, and what you can take from it. So so you've got, so there's a bit of you had like a bit of a pennant set up. I think it was probably more like that. You definitely want to see, so once again for me, so what are the fibs on this push down? So like as far as significant structure goes, like you've got support through this zone here where we broke through. So to me, like the more significant level for a stronger retracement would probably be a little bit higher, like around that 618 level.
That's what I was looking at as well, like just initially seeing that chart.
Yeah, just I think like
it was a bit
higher
higher
retracement's a bit more probable. But in saying that, if you were to get an entry off, oh god, that's a nice straight line. Here's a little tip: you use your trend line tool, you hold down shift, and it'll make a perfectly horizontal line for you. Or you can do it at 45 degrees. Just so you know. Thanks for watching Lou's Clues. So if you were looking for an entry around this level, the safer entry would be waiting for the break of the pennant and the retest. So if I was looking for a short off that level, that's probably where I would be looking. But realistically, like I'd be looking more so for the horseshoe play here. So I'd be looking for that continuation up to that level there before it came down. So, because I mean, statistically or probability says that that's going to be the area where it's more likely to head to before a rejection. So
it may just coincide with that trend line coming down too.
yeah, exactly. Could do. Like you could come back up for a touch on the trend line.
Yeah. And you see that a lot in the chart for the trend line and a support or resistance or a fibs line will actually kind of intersect, and that might just be the confirmation that you need.
Yeah.
On the list, on the watch list.
What else we got in the chat going here?
Yeah, not much there, but we've been on a while, so
yeah.
I'll
just share quickly, like I'm just my analysis on Bitcoin, like it's very similar to what we looked at last week. It's still just not bloody doing anything. So this is how I've had it charted up. This is sort of how I'm following it. We had that little pump on when was that? 24th, Monday. It was Monday morning. We had that little pump up. Which I think it was about 3%, wasn't it? Yeah, 2.5%. And we rejected off the trend again. So that's still a trend drawn in from back in August. That's the short-term trend that we've been following. That's the triangle that we've been squeezing into. The long-term trend sort of sits a little bit higher. I think we've already broken that sort of long-term trend. I don't really remember, but
yeah, that we have the long-term trend's been broken, but it's just channeling sideways now.
Yeah, so it's just between, like, this is the daily support, daily resistance level that I've been tracking. So this is sort of since we hit that bottom in June. So June, July, August, September, 5 months now we've been going on with this sideways action, ranging between sort of bottom of about 18k or 17.5k, and the very top was that 25k mark. So we're just really not doing much. Alts have sort of, there's still been some good trades on alts. Like a lot of the alts have been setting bullish market structure. Everything sort of hit the bottom, went sideways a bit, and we can see like new market structure forming on some of the alts. And some of them do look quite bullish, but in saying that, like if you had a quick dump all of a sudden on Bitcoin, all those alts are coming down as well. So I mean, just because they look really bullish and they're setting some nice new market structure, if we had a really volatile move down on Bitcoin, went back down to like 17k or something, those alts are getting pulled down, regardless of how bullish they look and how nice the setups are. Everything's coming down if you have those sharp moves. So, and we're still at decision time. So, we're going to sort of squeeze into the end of this triangle. What do we got? Another 6 to 8, basically another week before we sort of hit the bottom of that triangle. So for me, like I'm still not really in the market at the moment. I sort of I want the volatility of Bitcoin. If I see a really nice setup on an alt, I'll share it in the chat and that sort of stuff, and just sort of track it. But just this indecision makes me really hesitant to trade at the moment. So
yeah, it's one of those things, though. We just got to kind of wait. Like there's all speculation, obviously. Yeah, we hit the bottom, but until we know, we don't know, So it's just one of those things. Just keep charting it. Keep seeing what you're seeing. Keep sharing in the next gen chat, and get feedback. That's what we want. Can I just publicly say, Amber, thank you for sharing that chart, and hopefully that analysis of DOT helps out. John's just fired up another one. He wants to share another sneaky one. So we'll just do that and wrap it up, Louis?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Cheers, Damien.
Just if you start sharing, it should just kick me off. So go for it, bro.
Yeah, so it's more of a question than anything. I just saw this one just now, so
just read.
Started again. Oh, Brody, nice background. That's good. It's really flattering.
Okay, so shall I continue?
Yeah, mate. Sorry.
All good.
I love how John's all mature and we're all immature. It's great.
Yeah, behave yourselves.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm seeing patterns in my sleep. So I just like saw this one now. This is ENS on the hourly, and there's a head and shoulders there. So is that a stretch? That sort of thing that I'm seeing there, or is that a potential, or should there be more? Should it be more obvious than that? That's a sort of thing I'm asking.
No, I don't mind it as a head and shoulders. It's just one of those things you've just got to wait for it to kind of break and retest, perhaps, and
Yeah,
then it
sure.
can continue down. You've got two lines of fairly, I wouldn't call it super solid, but it's a fairly solid support and resistance line there you've drawn
Yeah.
either side of it. So
Yeah,
it's definitely
you're supposed to wait till it breaks the neckline, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some structure there, and you've got that support line that has been broken, and it's actually closed, I think, twice from what I can see, or about to close again underneath that line. So it's one to watch, definitely. What's everyone else's thoughts? What do we think?
Yeah, that's not a bad pattern. Yeah, there's an inverted one too, eh?
I like it.
So can I put my 2 cents in?
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
Nobody likes me when you're 23. So the inverted would probably be more valid because why? Does anyone know why?
Downtrend.
It's at the bottom of a downtrend.
Yeah.
For me, like, it is valid. Like, and any head and shoulders is valid when it breaks the neckline. But where you really want to find these patterns is at the bottom of a trend, a decent trend. Okay. So, we have had a bit of a bullish run up, but we haven't really had that much market structure. So I wouldn't, like, you could trade it, but I wouldn't rely on it for a proper head and shoulders.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess from this is more of a consolidation to the left. So you would disregard it just because of that.
Yeah, I'd just trade it as support and resistance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's something that you see one and you see another, and you get to a point where you might be seeing 65 different things, and you go,
yeah,
I'm out. So yeah,
cool. Thanks,
inverted head and shoulders is something worth practicing anyway. For those of you that are out there, it's definitely worth seeing it upside down.
Who's sharing at the moment?
John.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Should I stop?
Press Alt plus I. Woo!
Yeah.
Look at that. That I use this quite a lot, actually. It's a nifty little tip. It'll flip your chart. It'll invert your chart. So in my opinion, like, us as humans, we're always going to have like a bullish bias. Would anyone agree? We like to see green. Yeah. So it sort of goes against what we know to short the market. And I hear a lot of people all the time, they say they don't have the psychology to short the market. So one thing that helped me when I was looking at shorting the market, or I needed to look at something from a different perspective, was flipping the chart. So now you guys know that little trick.
With regards to the inverted head and shoulders, would you say this part there is the head and this is the shoulder, or that's the left shoulder, or which one's which? Because there seems to be lots of peaks,
Put it on. Sometimes
4 hour.
changing your time frame can help you identify it.
Yeah, put on the 4 hour and see.
Might still be forming.
Yeah, it might actually.
You're
come
saying
down.
that's going to be.
It might actually come
one there.
It might actually come down a little bit more and then push back up to where your top resistance line is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of be a little bit careful. That's a good tip, Brody. Thanks, man.
Yeah, your keyboard shortcuts.
We might get you back next week.
I'm busy. Sorry.
That's all right.
Thank God.
Yeah, we're actually pretty happy about that fact. Yeah, any last minute questions or anything? We've been here a while, so we might wrap it up. Does everyone get to bed? The New Zealanders are already sleeping. Sure, bro. So I.
Oh, you got too much.
Yeah. Sure, bro. Look, Lewis, as usual,
Damo.
very impressive. Valerio, thanks for jumping on, my friend. And
Thank you.
oh, you're still there, mate. That's awesome. Dedication. What is it? Midnight where you're from? So good on you, mate, for jumping on, sharing your story. I believe we might have T on next week. Therese Hudson. So Therese Hudson from Mudgee, and she'll jump on and share a little bit of action with us next week. So get ready, Therese, and we'll go from there. But I just wanted to, a big shout out to everyone that's jumped on tonight. And it's one of those things that your confidence will grow the more you watch these kind of things. Feel free to send this link to this YouTube channel out on your Facebook pages, but also get out there and make sure that you are getting your friends into the boot camp so they too can learn what we know. So it's not too late for them to join up. Make sure that you are plugging that boot camp on your socials and things like that to try and get anyone. You're doing the world justice by allowing them to have an opportunity to trade, I think. So
Absolutely.
by all means, I look at this as a hobby, an interest, a business opportunity, an opportunity to make money, and not only that, it's an awesome community full of people who I call friends. Well, most, hey Brody, most of us are mates, we like to give each other a bit of curry. So by all means, share that boot camp, encourage people to watch the retrospective YouTube clip and get them on tomorrow night. So on behalf of Lewis and myself, enjoy your evening. We love you all.
A final farewell too. I just want to say huge thank you and give yourselves a pat on the back if you had the courage to share something tonight. Like that's a huge step, and that's the best way you're going to grow in this space. So we are completely open to anyone at any stage that wants to chuck something up, share a thought, share a chart, get feedback. Like that's why we do this, and that's what we want people to do. So we encourage it.
And also, if you kind of see something during the week or have a question, feel free to message Lewis or myself, and we can add that to the perspective, similar to what Tarina did tonight. She asked about that limit and market difference, and we're able to put that into our program tonight. So thank you so much, Valerio. Thanks again, mate. And
thank you, guys.
We'll see you all next week. Sleep well.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.